Forging cyber security experts. Secure Ninja.
Hey everyone, I'm Alicia Webb with SecureNinjaTV. Now, our free preview of SecureNinja's online Sensei series has generated such a positive reaction that we've decided to give away every single module from this Cyber Kung Fu course, featuring Larry Greenblatt, Tom Updegrove, and me. If you like what you see and would like to experience a Secure Ninja training course in person at any of our training locations, we have some amazing time-sensitive specials for you. Just visit SecureNinja.com/specials for all of the do not miss deals. And now, here is your free module from Cyber Kung Fu for the Certified Ethical Hacker version 8. Enjoy.
Hey, welcome back. This is Module 4. Module 4 is enumeration. Okay? Module 4, we're going to use a program called Cain. In fact, it's actually called Cain and Abel, like the biblical brothers. Cain is the console that we run on our machine, and it only runs on Windows. The cool thing about it, though, is this program is actually still in development. And can be pulled down from the Cain's website. Abel is a tool that I would run on another machine that runs as an agent, and it kind of reports back as to all the different characteristics of it. So this is very much like what we see out there for administrators called a managed service tool. So I mean, this could be run by someone to manage all their machines. But you ran Cain on a machine, it's going to get grabbed by your antivirus as a hacking tool. Okay. So, wouldn't advise it. So here we are still back in our Kali Linux machine, right? So, but because it's Windows, we got to go to our Windows machine. In this case, I'm probably a little better driving because there's a bunch of, this tool takes there's a little bit of a learning curve to really see all the characteristics of it. Okay? But it is a scanner, so it will scan the network like MAP did. It's a sniffer. We haven't got to sniffing yet, but it's going to look at all the packets going across the wire. It actually runs the same WinPCAP driver that we use in Wireshark and all the other tools. It will grab passwords, has quite a few. Actually, you can even grab voice. If somebody's running a VoIP system, a voice over internet, as unencrypted, which most are, we're able to actually grab the conversations and replay them.
Like if someone was on Skype?
If somebody was on Skype, right, yeah. So, here we are. I just got a basic screen. So, first thing I do is I go up to configure, and I want to make sure that I'm on the right network. There are some characteristics because you realize that we're working really in a virtual environment. So this is a virtual machine. Normally, Cain will populate this field here with the actual IP address of the machine. I know that this is my local host network, the 192.168.56, whatever. And so that's fine. I really want to put myself on that network. The second thing I'm going to do is come up here and hit this plus sign. Click my sniffer tab. Be on the sniffer. Now, one odd thing about Cain that's weird, it always leaves things kind of carried over from previous use. So my advice when you're using this tool is to clear everything out. Okay? Let's see, might be some passwords in here. No, there aren't. Okay? So we don't want to really contaminate what we did, did anything in the past with what we're doing now. Okay, good. So I come back, I click on the sniffer tab, I click on this host. Okay? I know I have the sniffer, this thing, you can see this, see how this is depressed, see how it kind of gives this a little bit of shading? All right, that says the sniffer's on, then I'll hit this plus sign. Ordinarily, I should have the IP address in here. So for whatever reason, when it's working, especially with VirtualBox, it doesn't populate it. So I populate it manually. So I go 192.168.56, and we know that our address range is running somewhere between 100 and 110, depending on how many machines. So I'm going to put 100 in there, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to hit the ending address. So 192.168.56.110. So I want to scan those 10 addresses, right? I'll just click this. So what happens is gets both multicast as well as broadcast. And it doesn't take long. You can see we're already kind of pulling up some machines. So again, our goal is to try to get more information, because we're still in a kind of a reconnaissance phase. We've learned some things, right? We see that we have a bunch of Windows machines up here. We can see that we have an XP machine, right? We have a 2003 server. We saw the 2003 server is pretty ripe for vulnerabilities, and that we could actually get in there by corrupting a service. But now what we'd like to do is get more information about users, and see if we can actually extract some passwords.
Right.
Okay, so that way we can then just log in as a legitimate user. Okay. Now one of the things I'll do is I'll just kind of I'll right click on each one and I'll have it try to resolve the host name. So that's good. So it resolves the name of that. Resolve the host name here. Okay. And they're basically the two I'm after. But 103, as we know, is our machine, and now kind of even one's popped up. But this is still part of the VirtualBox environment. Okay? Good. So I could see that I was able to scan and find some machines. So my next move is to go over to this network tab. Okay? And I have this Microsoft Windows network, and it looks almost like it does when you open up a file manager. So in Windows, if you go open Windows Explorer, it's going to open up a window. It's going to have a little network tab down there, right? And so what I do is I just double click it. Okay, and it kind of populates that, and I can see that I have some networks in here. And if I kind of expand them, I can see that this CKF, okay, having built the environment, I know the CKF looks like some type of a domain. Okay? And in here we have some computers. I just kind of really want to populate that. It's bringing my machines up. So I'm just going to go a step further. I'm going to double click on Kirk, see if I can get pull a little more information from that. Takes a little while.
So while we wait, if you weren't a Windows user and you wanted a tool that's comparable on a Mac, what would you use?
Nmap.
Nmap?
Yeah.
For the enumeration?
Yep.
Okay.
But the truth is, the reality is, there is no tool quite like Cain in terms of all the capabilities. So it's kind of like a Swiss Army knife.
Right.
You know? And a lot of people, a lot of tools are cool that way. So you can see that I've now kind of pulled down some information about it, groups, registries, services, and so on. So I want to get some information about the user, so I'm going to double click that, and I'm going to ask it to start enumerating. Doesn't seem to want to do it, but yet it's still letting me through. You can see as that kind of rolls through, it's starting to enumerate all the accounts on there.
Okay.
That's pretty rich. I mean, that's giving me a lot of information about what's going on in this machine. So I know, now I know I have some users in here. I can see that, see, we got Bob, Ted, Alice, Marty. That, in a nutshell, is what enumeration is about.
Okay.
But we can go actually further with this tool. So now that we've kind of enumerated it, I'd like to find out even some more information. So as I say, it is a sniffer. and it's capable of actually sniffing out passwords. Where there's communication going on between people. So if I look at my password list right now, I don't see anything in here yet, because there's really no communication going on. But you figure Cain is sitting on the wire. In this case, it's almost like it's a hub network, where everybody's in a broadcast network. In a switch network, I have to get myself in the middle between two machines in order to do the sniffing. But right now, I can kind of sniff all the traffic. So let's, for sake of an example here, let's take ourselves to, say, we've got our XP machine, right? We have the Windows 7 machine we work on, which is the kind of like the machine in the middle, and we have our 2003 server sitting over here, right? So I'm going to go into my XP machine, okay? And I want to pull up a browser. Okay, so do you recall what the name of the 2003 server is? How about the IP address?
192.
Doesn't it help to write things down? Yeah.
It sure does.
Cool. So what we do is we just we give two backslashes, right? So we go 192.
168.
168.
56.
56.
102.
That 102. So it's asking me for a username and password to log in there. And only rightfully so, because there are shares on there that are file protected and saying, are you a legitimate user? Do you have rights to access this file? Okay, so we're going to put in, I know Marty has an account and Marty has a password, but I'm not going to tell it to you. Now, the Windows 7 machine all along doesn't really have access. It doesn't have access. It's just sitting there watching the traffic go back and forth. Okay. So, and I've got an important stuff folder. Open that up. I got a top secret document in here. Okay. Well, I should be able to see that. I have rights. If I didn't have rights to it, if I logged in as somebody else, I wouldn't be able to do that. So that happens to be my file, right? But we go back to our sniffing machine, okay, and actually now you can see here in SMB, I've actually have a series of hits on this where I have actually grabbed some information. Okay, so I logged in as Marty, so I think Marty's going to be the richest, right? So what I do is I click on Marty and I send it to the cracker. You say, send to the cracker. All right, and we go to the cracker tab. Okay. And we can see that actually we have Marty sitting in here. Okay. Right? Okay. So I click on Marty, okay, and I want to, now there are different ways to try to crack the password hash. And I'm going to show you what the hash looks like. So it's a long encrypted string that is an approximation of what the password is. I'm going to show you as we go on, we get into encryption, we'll actually show you what a hash is. But a hash is a definitive string, encrypted string, that can only result in one definition of a particular word, whatever that password is. If I add a letter to it, when I hash it, it's going to wind up different. Okay. So basically Windows compares these hashes to really see if it's the real thing. Okay, but yet, having that hash, it doesn't really tell me what the password is. Right. Okay? Unless I do some real specific stuff, I won't be able to use that hash to log in. Okay? Okay. All right, so I'm in the cracker, and I could do a dictionary attack. And a dictionary attack basically works, it just uses an actual text file of known passwords. Okay? However, if the password is super complex, super long, and the password actually isn't in the dictionary, it's not going to find it. So then I have to go to a type of brute force attack. So brute force attacks just starts trying every conceivable combination to find that out. Brute force sometimes is the only way to go, but the brute force is going to take the longest to do. Sometimes there's combinations of those things. It'll take known words, names, like I like to use Chinese terms for my passwords. So somebody would need a Chinese dictionary. And maybe not actually in pinyin or anything like that, but it would be equivalents, something like Kung Fu or something like that. So we're going to use a dictionary attack, and I know that it's telling me here that actually what type of it is. I can see here that it's a session security, NTLM session security hash. So when I click on it, I go dictionary attack. Didn't highlight it. NTLM session security. Right? And I know I'm correct if I see here that I have one hash of this type. If I didn't pick the right type of dictionary decryption, it would say 0. Now up in here is where I keep my dictionary. So right now I don't have a dictionary in there, but I have a specific list. Right now I'm using with this one default dictionary that's in Cain. And hit open.
And it includes popular words used in passwords?
Yeah, so here, I'll show you what I mean. So in program files is the program Cain, and in Cain there is a word list thing, and this is the word list. Basically, it's just a text file. It takes a little while to open up, but you're going to see basically what a word list looks like. So it's just a series of terms that it's going to use and it's going to compare.
Oh, that's intense. There's lots of terms.
Now, in some cases, like if I were trying to crack maybe like a password at Insight. So Insight's a kind of an unusual word, right? So what I would do is I would take Insight's website, extract everything from it, and then add that to my dictionary. So a lot of times you have to create your dictionaries relevant to whatever that particular enterprise is using. Yeah.
I actually read once that ninja was one of the most common used words in passwords.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I want to make sure I don't use that one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so basically that's how your word list is, and bam, we just hit start, and this thing runs through.
And it just is trying each one?
It's trying. You can see it. This is kind of hitting. In fact, let me stop because I kind of goofed up here, and these are all complexities. So it's going to try numbers in different orders. It's going to try uppercase. It's going to do lowercase. I made my password pretty simple, just for an example of it. Okay? And a lot of times when we run this lab, it doesn't work for people because they made some really complex password that's not in the dictionary. Okay? And if it's not in there, it's not going to work. And I already ran through 33,000 words already, so I'm going to reset it back to the initial position, and I'm going to start it again. Ba-boom.
And you can just try them that quickly.
You just cracked it that fast. So you can see here that the Marty's password is
Marty
Dragon.
is Dragon?
Yeah.
That's his password?
Right. So now I can go back and log into that machine as Marty, okay, and find, read what's in that top secret file.
So you had in your dictionary list the word Marty and then the word Dragon, and it just tried different combinations?
No, it just had Dragon. So so Marty is the user, right, and Dragon was the password.
Dragon's the password.
Yeah, so it just ran through it, and
that's pretty easy password.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
So hence another way to explain, and this is pretty valid. You could run this on Windows 7, Windows 8, Server 2000, you know, any box, I could stiff them out because they're all basically using the same way. Now this is locally on the network and not across the network. Microsoft does something smart with their passwords, okay? When they're actually remote, you know, logged in across the wire. So what else? That is dang cool though, isn't it?
Yeah, that really is. So that's why it's important for you to make your passwords with all these numbers and characters.
Make a complex password.
No words.
There's more to the whole password bit, but in terms of really seeing how to use the tool, you could actually fire that tool up and start sniffing passwords out.
That's crazy.
Okay, and that is Cain.
That's Cain. Now we hope you've enjoyed this free module, but there's lots more. The Cyber Kung Fu course has 29 videos in all and will really help build you a solid understanding of the CEH version 8 curriculum. Don't forget, if you prefer to attend one of Secure Ninja's courses in person at any of our training locations, you really need to visit SecureNinja.com/specials for some amazing discounts and other deals. I'm Alicia Webb. Happy training.
Secure Ninja TV is brought to you by SecureNinja.com, a world leader in cybersecurity training and certification. Our master instructors will help build you into a highly skilled and marketable security professional. Secure Ninja, forging cybersecurity experts.